Today we are making overnight oats. So a lot of feedback I get from clients is that it's super hard to have breakfast or have a good breakfast because of time or because of like portability. They need something that they can take with them and go. So I guess that's time too. But so I'm going to show you a super quick and easy breakfast that you can make the night before, mix it all up, leave it in the fridge, grab it and either eat it cold or hot based on preference. Super simple. Looks like a lot of ingredients, but it doesn't have to be. So yeah, this is overnight oats. So ingredient wise, you're gonna do just regular oats. So these are Nature's Promise, which is Stop and Shop organic, just regular oats. You can get Quaker, you can get regular store brand, it doesn't matter. Protein powder. So we get a lot of questions about protein powder. I use Garden of Life organic protein just because I can't have dairy. So you don't have to have this. Tara's Whey is a good whey protein. If you don't want any protein powder, you could also do a yogurt. It'll change the consistency a little bit, but you can do it. But the protein powder is nice because it mixes in, it gives it a little bit of flavor, but also obviously increasing or adding to your protein. So you got your carb source, your protein source. Here's your fat. So if you tend to find that you are over on your fat for the day based on everything else that you have, you're gonna go with this lower fat option. So it's peanut powder. You might have heard of it before. They have PB2, or they have, I want to say it's all organic, like the brand. But yeah, they have a ton of them. What this is, it's literally organic defatted peanut flour. That's it. So they've just literally taken the fat out of peanuts. You want to be careful with anything that's like low fat because have they put other stuff in it to make it taste good? With this, no. So what I love about this is it's 2 grams for 3 tablespoons. It's 2 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of protein. So if you're having a tough time hitting enough protein throughout the day, you can supplement with this, and it adds that flavor. So chocolate, I use chocolate flavor for this, and then peanut butter, chocolate peanut butter. Pretend you're eating Reese's, something like that. Okay, so if you find that you're low on fat or just love peanut butter, I use Teddy's. I like chunky, they have creamy, you don't have to use this, but I use this because it's the cleanest that I can find. So it's literally dry roasted peanuts and salt. That's it. So they're not adding a ton of extra oil, they're not adding sugar. Check your Jiffy, it's gonna have sugar in it, nothing against it. It's just, if you're trying to minimize the amount of ingredients and extras, you're gonna go for something that doesn't have a ton of those extra ingredients. So that's fat, so that, just for comparison, is still 8 grams of protein, so it's the same because it's from the same thing, just the fat is taken out. So this has 16 grams. Just do 1 tablespoon if you want the taste of peanut butter. Play around with it, see what you enjoy. But I just wanted to give you those options. As far as liquid, you can always do water, but in order to get our calcium, generally we recommend having some sort of any of the milks. So you could do a regular skim milk. Like I said, I can't do milk. This is, my husband drinks this, either skim or this might be 1%. 1%, either of those are totally fine. Going to give you a good amount of protein, healthy carbs, and calcium. Or I drink almond milk. So really not much in it at all. 1 gram of protein, 2.5 grams of fat, 1 gram of carb, but it's 45% calcium. So there's a lot more than milk. Doesn't make one better than the other in terms of the calcium aspect, but you can use a lot more of this if you want it as filler. The big thing with overnight oats is the texture, the consistency. So like you might find that tomorrow morning when you open it up, the oats have really absorbed a lot of the liquids and it's just a little too, whether it's dry or you know how like oats get when they really absorb all the water, just a little stiff. You pour more if it's the almond milk. You don't have to worry about adding extra macros or portions because it's really not much in it. So either of those is totally fine. I add a little bit of cinnamon just for some extra flavor. And then one thing I forgot was your fruit. So I get the big bags of frozen. I like strawberries. You can get any fruit you want. The nice part about it is you put it in here, you don't have to defrost it, you don't have to do anything because by the next day it'll be nice and soft, and whether you want it cold or warmed up, you don't have to worry about it letting off a ton of water and that being cold and everything else being hot and whatever. So we're gonna make it. So I like to do it in a mason jar because I can just take it with me. You can do it in anything. So I put the oats in first. So I measured this out. This is a 1/2 cup. Again, this is all based on what your needs are, but 1/2 cup is one regular portion. So I guess I didn't do this right when I portioned it, but I might spill it everywhere. Oh, not too bad. Okay. So I do the 1/2 cup of oats, 1 scoop. So generally the protein powders come with a scoop. So I just like it to look prettier, so I put it in a regular portion size. And the scoops, that you don't have to do a full scoop, you don't have to only do 1 scoop. So you don't want to go crazy, but if you just needed a little extra protein, this one's 20 grams in 1 scoop. So if you needed 30 grams, you could do a 1.5 scoops. You don't want to go much higher than 30 grams per serving. The body just has a hard time breaking it down and utilizing it, so it goes out as waste. So if we want to make sure to optimize as much as we have, we want to spread that out throughout the day. So, okay, so oats, protein powder. I put all the big stuff in first. So strawberries is really hard to portion out. So I get the smaller ones, but still. So if I try and put that in a 1/2 cup serving, they fit, but it's like, is that a 1/2 cup? Do I go over? So you can guesstimate, or you can also weigh it so that you're able to get a better picture. Both of them will have it says, serving size is 10 pieces or 144 grams. So you could weigh that and you would be looking for 144 grams. So I put those in. So again, I'm getting all the big stuff in there. I'm gonna use peanut butter powder. I don't have those little tab things. So the biggest challenge that we have is that, trying to balance everything. So this is a really great recipe. So you're able to, if you need a little bit more carb, you can add a little bit more fruit or oats. If you need a little bit more fat, the peanut butter powder or the peanut butter. If you need a little bit more protein, same thing. So you get that flexibility without really changing or transforming the recipe too much. The biggest thing is going to be making sure liquid-wise, it's based on what you want. So if you need a little bit more, if you do use milk and you are trying to stay within your macros, that you add some water. It's not going to totally take away from things, but it gives it a little more flavor. I know I like mine a little bit soupy. So we said 3 tablespoons. I'll probably only use 1.5. It just can be a strong flavor in this portion size, but you can absolutely use more than that. So if you want to get in there, kind of see what it looks like. Awesome. Okay, so I think I have, this one's empty. Okay. So I'm going to do a cup to start. Again, when it's just the plain almond milk, this one is actually, I wanted to try the chocolate unsweetened almond milk because I had tried the sweetened. It's super sweet. It's delicious. Tastes like chocolate milk, but it was so high in sugar. So this one actually only has no sugar, but it's got that chocolate taste, but it's not like super sweet. So it's really great to add in a little bit of chocolate, something like this. I wouldn't drink it out of a glass. But again, you're getting that calcium, super important. So I did a cup to start, and then I put a little bit of cinnamon just for some flavor. And then I'll mix it up. So see how the oats is in the bottom? So that you want to make sure to get, just because if you don't mix it enough the next day, it will just kind of sit there. And then if you decide to heat it up, it's just not the best taste. So you can do it this way. This is kind of hard when the fruit is in there, so you can either mix it first and throw the fruit on top, or you can just shake it. That's why I like the mason jar, because you can put a top on it, throw it. I know that I always have a top on whatever I drink in the car or whatever I have in the car because I know it'll tip over, but this just allows it to mix up. So see this is what I meant by looking super like dry. So that to me is obviously not super appealing. Might be super appealing to you. So I'm gonna try and add some more almond milk. The other thing you really wanna be careful is this can be super filling. So you might think a half a cup of oats, like what do you mean? That's not enough. So that's where it gets exponentially larger in terms of the portion amount. So that's where you want to just kind of play it by ear initially. This will keep you full. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. So that's a lot better. You want to make sure not much is stuck on any of the sides or the bottom. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, so all you have to do is put it in the fridge. So the next day, take off, if you have a metal top, obviously take it off before you put it in the microwave. But you can heat it up, mix it up a little bit, throw it back in for another 30 seconds, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Again, check the liquid, because see how there's a lot of liquid in it right now? So tomorrow, the oats absorb a lot of the liquid, so there might not be as much, and just kind of play around with what you like in terms of textures. So I hope that you try this. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know, what things that you add to it. There's definitely a million ways to do it. But yeah, now I'm all set for breakfast tomorrow, and I can't wait to hear about your successes with it. If you need anything, let us know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time.